Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. In this series of videos, we are going to see about how to do mobile app development by using Flutter. So Flutter is nothing but a UI toolkit which is used to develop applications for both mobile as well as desktop using a single programming language and code base. So in the series of videos, so for someone who wants to learn a framework for developing an application, the series of videos are going to be very useful. Flutter is an open source framework developed by Google to create high quality mobile applications across Android and iOS. So it provides an easy to understand SDK to write mobile applications in Google's own language called as Dart. So you can write the app's code once and deploy it on multiple platforms like Android or iOS or desktop. And it has customizable widgets as well as it has a feature called hot reload feature, which lets the developers to make changes in the app without restarting every time. So the first step in using Flutter for mobile application development is to install the Flutter SDK as well as the Dart SDK. So to install the Flutter SDK, you need to go to this docs.flutter.dev website and there to click on Get Started. So it shows you the development platform. You have to choose the development platform depending on the type of your operating system, whether it is Windows or Mac OS or Linux or Chrome OS. Here I click on Windows. Now here you can choose your first type of application where you're going to configure, whether it is for Android or web or desktop. So here I'm clicking on Android. Once I click on Android, it asks you to verify the system requirements and then you can click on the file to download. So here you can see that you don't need to install Dart separately as the Flutter SDK includes the Dart SDK inbuilt into it. So here you can see install the Flutter SDK, use VS Code to install or you can click download and install. Once you click download and install, installation bundle appears here. So it shows you a zip file. You have to extract this zip file. What you can do is you can create a folder called Flutter inside your C drive and inside that you can extract the contents of this zip file. Once you extract the contents of this zip file, you can set the path of the bin folder of the contents of that Flutter folder. And that will be your next step. To, to set the path, you can actually go to settings. And then type advanced system settings. Once you type advanced system settings, click on environment variables. Here under user variables, you can click on path. And here you can see that I have already given the path of my Flutter folder. I've created a folder called Flutter inside my C drive, and then I have extracted all the contents of the Flutter zip file. And the path up to the bin file is copied and it is pasted here. So this is how you have to install the Flutter SDK and set the path in your system. Now the Flutter SDK is successfully installed and the path is also set for the Flutter SDK. The next step is to verify the Flutter installation. To verify the Flutter installation, just go to command prompt and use the Flutter doctor command. So this Flutter doctor command provides a summary of the installation. It shows that the Windows version of the Flutter has been installed. And it shows that Android Studio has been installed. Visual Studio Code has been installed. 2 connected devices are available. Network resources are available. Alternatively, you can also use the Flutter version command to find out the version of the Flutter which has been installed. So here you can see that Flutter 3.27.1 version has been installed along with Dart and the tools. So this is all about the installation of Flutter SDK and the Flutter doctor command to verify the installation. In the next video, we will see about how to use Visual Studio Code and Android Studio for the emulator to run a mobile application project using Flutter. So using an IDE with a Flutter extension or a plugin helps for code completion, syntax highlighting, widget editing, debugging, and other features. So popular options is you can use Visual Studio Code with the Flutter extension for Visual Studio Code, Android Studio, IntelliJ IDEA, etc. So we'll see about that in the next video. Thank you. Bye-bye.